When I started this challenge, 25,000 steps a day for a week, I really wondered, what will I have to tell you guys? I'm not sure if anything drastic will have changed. Well, lucky enough, there's enough to tell. As you may have realized by now, this channel is about healthy habits and making progress on them without beating yourself up, and a lot of examples, but also some technical knowledge about that. If you want, it would be great if you would subscribe to it so you would receive my weekly videos. And now let's get going. Day 1. So yeah, here we go. I've decided quite spontaneously that I would start doing these 20 to 25,000 steps a day this morning. So thankfully I woke up naturally very early at 6, and that gives me a bit of time to start this challenge, which I want to do for a week. But I haven't really thought through everything so far, so I'm just listening to music so far and trying to calculate how much this actually means. So now I've had time to sober up a little. I'm a little sweaty because it's only going up all the time this mountain, but it was worth it because I just saw one of these gemse. That's an animal that's living here on this mountain, weirdly enough in the middle of the city, and they're being protected, but not always that easy to see, so very happy about that. Oh my god, I think that 25,000 steps a day is about 4 hours of walking per day. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out a plan how to do this. Whew, so far 5,000, but going up a lot. So 25,000 steps a day is crazy, even for me. Actually, for my pace, it's more or less 4 hours 20 per day, which is quite a lot. Why would I even want to do such a challenge? Because for me it was pretty clear that the only goal I wanted to stick to is 10,000 steps a day, But why did I decide to do 25,000 in the first place? Well, one reason is that I had been pretty consistent with averaging 10,000 steps a day since the beginning of the year, which is one of my New Year's resolution. And I noticed how this had started to kind of trickle down over the last month or month and a half. So I kind of decided that with this little challenge and little unrealistic, sustainable, let's say non-sustainable goal, I was going to give myself a little push so that I would be able to fall back easily to my 10,000 steps a day. Walking is, as you may know, one of the very healthy activities that you should actually have more of the more you age, because you tend to lose your muscles and staying active can prevent faster aging. So I made it clear for myself that walking was going to be part of my life. I think that walking is a perfect way to explore your surroundings. Very often we are not really aware anymore what we have around us and all the great spots and shops and cafes and maybe nature, you know. But that's a great way to catch up with it, so I would definitely recommend. So day one is over. I did it. It was not that easy. I'm pretty tired actually. I slept so little, like 4 hours, and this very spontaneous decision of mine kind of made me pretty tired. But I did it. I did a bunch in the morning, 1 hour 40 for 10,000 steps, and then maybe 50 minutes for lunch. So about 5,000-6,000 more steps, and then I had a walk with my mom in the afternoon. That helped. I think again 6,000 steps or something like that, and the last 1,500 I just did at home, walking around because it was pouring rain outside. So that was my first day. Alright, it's time. Today's day 2, and so far I only did 2,000 something steps by walking around in the apartment every time I was making a little break from work. Thankfully there's my friend coming and he wants to see the city, so we are going to do a bigger tour around, and I hope to gather my 25,000 steps almost by doing this. Yeah, so the weather is really gorgeous, so that was definitely a good idea. Otherwise I would have probably worked all the time, so not so great. Woo! Yeah, alright. I'm now doing my steps a little bit at home just because I feel a bit tired and I don't want to do a big round outside anymore. It is definitely true what they say that it probably uses more energy when you're outside and you can hear my voice. I'm pretty tired. Being in the sun, at fresh air, on normal ground, and it goes a little up and a little down, and it is more exercise than just walking around at home. So yeah, adding a few steps just like that. So this is day 4, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to make it today, the 5,000 steps, just because I'm only at 3,000. It's the afternoon and I'm at my family's for the weekend, so it's pouring rain outside, really pouring rain. And I'm doing steps inside so far. Not that I'm made out of sugar, but somehow, yeah, we'll see. Walking first thing in the morning. Ooh. Yesterday I failed. I only made 15,000 steps. But I'm actually happy with myself. I think given the circumstances, 15,000 steps is quite good. And I also have proven that I've changed. I think in the past I would have reached my goal no matter what. But instead I decided that I would do whatever I could. During the afternoon I walked quite a lot around as I could, and I preferred to spend the time with my family. Yeah, I think it was just more important than doing 10,000 steps more. So I'm a bit tired. Also, when the time came to go to sleep, I still would have had, it was 10:45, but I also decided that I was pretty tired and that sleep is more important. And to be honest, I'm kind of proud of myself because in the past I would have forced through my challenge no matter what. But this time I decided that it was more important to spend time with my family, especially when they need it. And it was more important for me to have good quality sleep. So yeah, it's a fail, but actually I'm handling it with a lot of self-compassion and also just seeing the positive changing in it, because I think these things come first and I used to put them second all the time in the past as a workaholic. And so I'm proud of myself. These are pretty dead, and right now it's all super wet, so starting to feel the wet inside, and it should be that way. And I have also already noticed that I have some holes around, so I can see actually through my shoes at some places. So that's not ideal, and if you want to walk as much as 25,000 steps a day, I'd highly recommend that you do it with proper shoes, not like me. So day 7, I I failed, I can say. My first 3 days were on average more than 25,000 steps. Thursday, when I went to see my families, it was 15,000, and then the 3 last days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that I spent with my family, basically, I did on average 10,000 steps. And although it may seem like I have failed, I'm a strong believer, and that's also why I want to share this and not make it like, new and never share that I failed on this time. I think that it's important that when something like that happens, you realize. So first of all, what was the aim for me? And I know that deep down my aim was that my average steps were dangerously going down. I wasn't doing my 10,000 steps on average anymore, which were important for me to stick to that this year. So this little challenge was kind of a way for me to boost my monthly average and also get me back to doing 10,000 steps a day. Because when you've done 25,000 steps, it's really not complicated to bring it down to 10,000 again. And that's exactly what happened actually. Once I kind of let go, because I figured that spending 4 hours a day on my own walking around wouldn't work when I was actually focusing on spending time with my family, I realized that at least it was really important to me that I stick to my 10,000 steps. And this I did do, so it was a very good sign. And then also, I think that when you have an experience like that, first of all, be kind to yourself. That's very important. So I'm actually really proud of myself. And what comes out of it is I've learned something, you know. When I am at my family's, the setup is not necessarily so great for me to walk so much. But 10,000 steps are definitely easily doable, so that's perfect. I can stick to that. And what I've also learned is like it's better for me to walk in an environment like here, where there's a little bit of a city and I can explore, but yeah, also some nature around. So this is kind of ideal. But anyways, it's all parts and bits that help you understand yourself better and do better in the future, and also integrates the parts that you want and you don't. I think it's great because it made me realize that 4 hours a day blocked for walking, it's a lot, but also you can kind of do it. And so I want to shift to definitely keeping my 10,000 steps, but also including other activities that kind of balance, that bring a good balance and are pretty healthy, such as maybe 1 hour of yoga. You know, when you've been able to do 4 hours working a day, well, you can replace some with 1 hour yoga. I don't see a problem in that. Anyways, that's day 7, and I'm still very proud of myself. I know this might sound strange. It would definitely have been the case for me in the past, but now I see things very differently. I think that my priorities were very straight, very clear. So I stuck to my values, and I also stuck to my underlying true goal and the real why I was doing this little challenge. So I hope this helps out, and talk soon. So every day that I was walking 25,000 steps, I felt like it was taking a tremendous amount of time, maybe 4 hours 30 or more, because sometimes I would be slow or walk up the mountain. But it also felt really good. My body was moving a lot again. It almost felt like sport. I was sore, I was tired. And I must say, I also feel like it was maybe also too much emphasis on one type of activity. It would have been great to have the time to incorporate maybe a little yoga or muscle strengthening type of activities, just in order to make sure that my back doesn't get hurt or anything like that. And I also must say that my shoes were suboptimal. But in the end, this little challenge has brought me back to my basics. I'm doing now more than 10,000 steps a day on average again, which I'm very happy about. Listening to my audiobooks, and also it made it look like my days had much more time. So it's much easier to start now with the next challenge, which is 1 hour of meditation and 1 hour of yoga every day. And I'm already seeing that these activities are kind of bringing me what walking alone wasn't really giving me. So very thankful for this little challenge, and I would definitely encourage you to incorporate more walking in your daily life. It's a great way to get out of your head and de-stress and just get your body moving without a lot of complicated stuff to organize. If you like the content, please subscribe. You'll receive my weekly videos, and I'll be delighted to see you on the next one.